Hello, I'm back again. This time I'm going to continue with my perfect tenses, but we're going to talk about the past perfect. Now, you're going to see it's actually simpler than the present perfect. What's the connection? Why do we call them all perfect? Because there's this concept of jusqu'à. Jusqu'à, until. Okay? Jusqu'à aujourd'hui, j'enseigne. I have taught for 32 years. That means that right up to now, I have taught. I've taught in the past, I continue to teach. So it's until now and possibly into the future. So this idea of jusqu'à is involved there. By the time, and by the time you hear me, I have taught for 32 years. Now, that was the present perfect, but today we're going to the past perfect. You're going to see it's actually simpler for a francophone. Why? Because it can be translated exactly. If you remember, in the present perfect, I said, j'ai visité l'Europe plusieurs fois. I have visited Europe many times. J'ai visité, passé composé. But then I said, j'enseigne. I have taught for 32 years. J'enseigne depuis 32 ans. J'enseigne. Oh, c'est présent. So you've got the présent from French, and you've got the passé composé from French. They both translate into the present perfect. It seems confusing. That's why it's important to understand the situation. Past perfect, easier. Okay? What is it? It's an action before another action in the past. Action before another action in the past. Okay? So, visually, how can I represent that? Slash, slash. Two actions. So there has to be two actions. Let's say, for example, late. Okay, so closer to now, 9 p.m. Okay, and then 6 p.m. So let's say last night, okay? So last night at 9 p.m. What happened at 9 p.m.? Well, the police arrived. They arrive on the scene, okay? So the police arrived. What did they see? Well, they looked in the house and everything was ransacked. The place was destroyed, total mess, clothes all over the place. Look over at the place where the stereo normally was. Gone. No more stereo. Oh my God, where did the stereo go? Well, something they discovered later was at 6 p.m., an action before this action, there was a robber. Right? And what did the robber do? Well, the robber stole the TV. Okay, so the robber stole the TV, the police arrived. Those are two actions. Now, to put them in perspective, if I'm using the two verbs in the same sentence, I have to use the past perfect to distinguish that the robber had stolen the stereo before the police arrived. There's a key word there. That happened first, that happened second. So the robber had stolen the stereo before the police arrived. And as I say, it's easy to compare with French, because in French, what is it? What is it? You got it. Le plus que parfait. Il l'avait volé avant que la police arrive. That gets complicated in French. Avant que, you use the subjunctive. Don't worry about that. In English, we don't. We could say before the police arrived, the robber had stolen the stereo. What's important is, if it's one action before another past action, we use the past perfect, okay? What's the form? Well, as you can see, I kept the same ending of all perfect tenses. All perfect tenses have past participle, ed, or third column, irregular. So, for example, steal, stole, stolen. Stolen is the past participle of steal. It's in the third column. What changed? The auxiliary. Had. H-A-D. And what is had? Of course, you know what it is. It's the past of have, right? Has stolen. Has is the present of have. Have, same thing as the present, but the past of have or has is had. So that's what changes places. Apply the system. Works just like in all verb tenses. When you know the auxiliary, you can apply the system. Affirmative sentence. The robber had stolen the stereo. Negative sentence. The robber had not stolen the stereo. Yes, no question. Switch the subject with the auxiliary. Had the robber stolen the stereo? Switch those two. And so that's auxiliary subject verb. Question, information question, where the complement is the answer. The complement is the stereo. So, stereo is a thing. A thing is what? So, question word, auxiliary subject verb. Say that a million times in your head. Question word, auxiliary subject verb. Put it on the ceiling when you go to bed at night. Get it into your soul, right? What had the robber stolen before the police arrived? What had the robber stolen? That's your information question complement. And finally, the information question subject. The robber is the answer to my question. The robber's a person, so we'd say who. And it's just like the affirmative sentence. Who had stolen the stereo? The robber had stolen the stereo. Okay, that's it. Okay, next video, we're going back to the future. Can't wait.